Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop.
We'll
We
be
will
as bright
not
as
stop.
the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time.
Look at
Baby, baby, now
See this?
no.
Now you cannot go,
Baby,
kid.
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Thank you for the love that's in the room. You guys, let me give a shout out to the 3 that came in the building. I've got Freddie. Uh-oh, I've got the wrong list here. Let me get the right list. That is not the right list. So we got Freddie Johnson was 1. Sanjay is number 2. Tina Powers. Everybody, Sanjay, Freddie, and Tina Powers, please put a 1 in the chat right now if you are still in the building. Okay? First thing is first. Hey, Lisa Lewis, how you doing? Hey, Woke to God, what's going on? Okay, I've got a 1 from Freddie, Sanjay, and Tina. Okay. Your tickets are in there. Okay, we got that taken care of. All right, that's the first thing. We got to take care of business first. First of all, thank you guys for showing on up. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in the door. If you do not, go back and do it right now. We'll wait on you. And we're going to talk a little bit this evening. I know we're running a little late. Really not, really. It's Friday, and people were trying to get things done today. Now, I let you guys know anytime there's a court date of whatever, whether it's something going on or something not going on, that Jarvis did have court today. I told you guys, I said, he's got a court date. It is, guess what? June the 20th. And then he's got another court date, August the 1st. Well, what happened in court? Nothing happened in court. They rescheduled his court date. Now, the weird thing about this whole situation is she said, oh, spill the tea. That is the tea, sweetheart. And you know what's so weird about the whole situation? I'm going to tell you guys this. I am not even going to be surprised if they reschedule October the 6th when they get ready to start picking the jurors. You know why? And it's not that it has never been seen that the final calendar conference be rescheduled, but it's very rare. Why do I say it's very rare? It's because when you have a final calendar conference, that is telling you all the dates that you guys are going to reschedule, this and like, okay, we're going to do the jurors on this date. And because everybody has a life, you've got Shannon Jones got a life, all the witnesses got a life, all the defense witnesses got a life. You've got jurors that got a life, you got the judge got a life, and they got other things that they got to do too. The world doesn't stop because, okay, this is we're trying to have court come October the 6th. Now a lot of people keep saying we don't have a court date, we don't got a trial date. Hold on, you guys. I'm not trying to set you guys up to be where you don't understand what's going on. When they pick the jurors, listen, family, that is the beginning of the trial. When they pick the jurors, they can, October the 6th come, if they pick the jurors that morning, you're going to have court that evening. The judge is going to ask the prosecutor and the defense, are you guys ready for your opening statement? Because we got a juror. And if they don't start that day, they'll start the very next day, the very next business day. If October the 6th is on a Friday, they'll start Monday. If it's on a Tuesday, they'll start Wednesday. Once they pick that juror, all 12 jurors, and then the alternates, they're ready to go. They're not going to sit back and go, okay, now we got to come up with a day we're going to start. No, it starts immediately. So when people say we don't have a trial date, what are you talking about? October the 6th, we're ready. And they are expecting it to last 3 to 4 weeks. That's a lot, you guys. Because right now, if you look at the P. Diddy trial, P. Diddy, I think this is like the 28th or the 29th day right now for P. Diddy. And if you go, you don't count the weekends, you guys. You just count, the 5 days that's in the middle of the week, Monday through Friday. So right now you're looking at, it has been over a month they've been going to trial. Okay. And if you remember, if you go back and you look at any trial, once they pick, and I did read that to you guys. If you want me to find it again, I will. Let me come out the building real quick and let's Google it together so everybody know that this is not something. I don't know why it kicked me off. That's crazy. But it did. It kicked me off. Anyway, I'm back. Anyway, let me look this up, you guys, and it's okay. After juror trial, hold on. We're gonna say, who said thanks for the membership? Somebody, Freddie, membership information. Yes. SP, do you think it's going to take a minute to pick the jurors? This case has been so highly publicized. I'm gonna tell you, maybe it has been highly publicized in Detroit somewhat, but I don't know. I don't really believe that this is a huge case. Do you guys think this is a huge case? Because I'm gonna tell you something. We were trying to always put Naziah's face out there, Naziah's name out there, Jarvis's face out there. And this is why I would tell you guys all the time, if you guys see other channel holders and they are talking about this case or whatever, go hear what they got to say. Go hear, what's going on. Not to be a spy and come and tell me. No, go and support that content, because that's how you get it to keep going, where people are interested in what's happening, and not the chaos and all of that, you guys. Sometimes it goes that way. It just goes. That's why when somebody is arguing and it has nothing to do with me, I stay out of it. Because if you're arguing and other people is sitting there bashing a YouTuber, and they're putting the content out there with Naziah's name or her face or her picture, they're not helping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's a bittersweet, but trust me, once you've seen this a lot, you may not like what another content creator may say or did or done or whatever, but a lot of times people are attracted to the chaos and the confusion and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got 500 people over here and they in a room or whatever, it doesn't mean they got really good content. It just means that they're drawing attention to her name. They're drawing attention to the case. And so I believe, because I think, like, if it was my child, I don't care what you say, put her name out there. I don't care what you guys are talking about. Say her name, see her face. This is my child. Isn't she beautiful? I don't care what you say. She was a this, she was a that, or you don't like this person or you don't like that person. Just look at her, because I want the world to know what happened. I would want the world to know what has happened to this child. And you're going to have good news and you're going to have bad news. But if they ain't talking about you, then guess what? You can forget it. And I believe that in the best interest of this case, if somebody was saying her name and somebody was showing her picture, I'll let them be. You know why? Because I don't think, if it wasn't for the YouTubers and Facebook people and TikTok, there would not be anyone listening to what happened. They would say, oh, this is another little black girl. Did she run away? And then we turn around and first thing we say is, we don't support our own. Well, you're not going to like what the other African American woman say when she done dug some stuff up on you or dug some stuff up on somebody in the family member, or we know your secrets, or you know my secrets, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be in agreement. And it's hard to conversate about something when you don't agree. Some people get mad at me sometimes. They be like, oh, I'm just so mad at SP. I'm just so mad. And I'd be like, okay, but you don't have to, like we could still come together. We could still, maybe we can't talk about Naziah. Maybe we can't talk about Cupcake. Or maybe we can't talk right now. Or maybe you're having a bad day. Or maybe I'm having a bad day. But you know what? I'm going to tell you guys something. And I hate to say this, but it's going to be true. Everybody goes through something. It may not be as bad as what Naziah went through. But everybody right now in this chat right now, you can't tell me you are not going through something. Whether you're going through money problems, job problems, marriage problems, health problems, making a decision, keeping your mind, your kids going crazy, somebody cussed you out, I don't know, you don't feel good, you don't look good, can't get your hair done, I don't know, but everybody's going through something, right? And it just don't seem fair. Or when does it stop? Because sometimes, guess what? It don't stop. It's almost a bottomless pit that something is happening. Well, you know what keeps me going? And like I said, I really hate to say this, but I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. And I myself are going through something. I myself. But you know what? I think to myself as I go, sometimes I have to go lay down because I'm sitting here having a pity party about this or that. Didn't get to see my grandson that long. Didn't get to see my husband, or my job's acting crazy, or my money looking funny, or my girlfriend making, not acting right or whatever. I got to go sit down. This young lady named Naziah, what the heck did she go through? Being around people she trusted, she loved. This girl loved these people that was around her. And you know what? I don't think she ever felt loved. Now, the best thing in the world, you can't sell it. You can't put it in a bottle. And that's true love. My grandson gave me a big old hug and big old some sugar on my cheek today. Naziah won't get to hear. She won't get to feel it. She won't get to feel the love. Y'all, quit crying about your situation. Because somebody that Naziah loved took her out, threw her away like it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And here I am moping about some, this didn't go right. Trust, I had a horrible day yesterday. I mean, everything that could have happened, things that I didn't think could have ever happened. Thank you, Velma, for subscribing. Thank you. We need more people like you, Velma. And I know that we all not had the same type of childhood life. There's no way in the world everybody in the room right now had the same type of childhood life. Some of you guys can tell me some horror stories, and I can tell you some of mine, to be honest with you, but I won't, because half of y'all already know them. But I can tell you this. It wasn't nothing like Naziah's. Because guess what? She's not here. She's not here. So I go back and I listen to what the family says, and I go back and And because sometimes we want to blame people, sometimes, and I have to always remember, I was just chatting with Woke to God maybe about 5-10 minutes ago, and we were talking about a situation, and she said something, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Oh, I pull one of her things. We listen and we don't judge," because she was asking me about something that was going on, and I was like, "I don't know." And then she was like, "What? That don't even make sense." I was like, "We listen and we don't judge." She was like, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." What is it, Papa?
I bought you something to eat.
Oh my goodness, honey. What is it?
Nachos.
Oh, okay. Well, we have to go to the store in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, babe. Thank you. Anyway, it is just really nice when Woke the guy said, "Thank you, Papa." Exactly. Like, you know. Ah, my goodness. You guys ought to see Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear, my goodness, he is getting so big. And I don't talking about as far as tall. I'm talking about he getting big. He eating a lot of meat and potatoes. I looked at that boy and I said, "Boy, you look like a quarterbacker. What the heck? You look like Refrigerator Jones or something." Yeah, he just oh my goodness, that boy is big. Oh my goodness. But anyway, he's on his way to a wedding, so he'll be all right. But anyway, so she said some hot her wings. Jesus Christ, I hope she is happy now and have her wings. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, like when you start really looking at, I mean, trust, we're getting older in age, so our health is not always going to be the greatest. And I could say, shoot, everybody's sitting there going, yeah. Because I know what you're thinking. Yeah, like, I'm looking at high blood pressure. Yeah, I'm looking at diabetes. Yeah, I'm looking at overweight. Yeah, I'm looking at headaches. Yeah, I'm looking at, you know, um, arthritis. Yeah, I'm looking at, because you're getting older. You're getting older, you know, of course. Of course, these things is gonna come to be, But Naziah, her age stopped at the age of 12, really. That's it. She didn't get to become 13, 14, 15, all the way to 20, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Stop! I don't know if y'all remember that. That used to be something that used to come on Saturdays. You know, they teach you how to do math and stuff. You might 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Then stop. I don't know. But anyway, man, age of 12, done. That's it. Anyway, you know, a friend of mine's asked me the question, are we in the final times? Is this the Armageddon? Has Jesus already came and we're living in the last days? I mean, and it sure do feel like it sometimes, because every time you turn around, you know, exactly, Lisa Taylor said, the Schoolhouse Rock, SP. That's what it was called. Exactly. I got long-term memory. I got a short-term memory. I can't tell you what comes on TV. I don't even really look at it. But long-term memory is very well good. It's doing well. But yeah, that's what it used to be, the Schoolhouse Rock. And looking at what's going on with the children, if you look in Naziah's eyes, you can tell the pain is there. Oh, really? You know, let me look. Let me look. You see if you can look, because I keep pictures now. I don't know if I see pain in her eyes. I just don't. Let me see. I don't know. I don't see pain. I see, you know what I see when I look at Naziah? I see, hold on. You know, there's a picture, you guys, that's got all her pictures on here. Let me see if I can bring it up. Present. Let me see. It should come up. Image. Let me see if I can find this picture that got all her little pictures on it. There it is right there. This is the picture I'm looking at. This is the picture I'm looking at right here. You know, I don't see pain in her eyes. Is that what you guys see? I don't see pain. I see a young lady that's trying to figure it out. That is, she doesn't even look sad. She looks like, yeah, full of life, you know? And that middle picture looks like, you know what? If you think you got me, like, I'm going to get the last laugh. That's what that picture looks like. Okay, so then the little girl with the beads in her hair, that is, that's Naziah too. She just, to be honest with you, she's supposed to be here, you guys. She says some people eyes smile to let you know the beauty's inside. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like her cheeks. I mean, could you guys all tell me what when you look at Naziah, what do you like? What do you see? Because when you can't ask the family to say something nice about Naziah, because they're not going to come and they're not going to say anything. They're going to get on the stand. They're going to lie. They're not going to say, she was vibrant. She knew how to paint. She likes to do hair. She likes Barbie dolls, or she likes makeup, or she likes riding a bicycle, or we don't know anything. Sanjay says, I do. She looks like she can handle whatever she has to go through. Beautiful girl, her hope in her face. Okay, Samantha says, I see the glow all over her. Yes, I see it too. I see it, and especially the baby pictures. She was a pretty baby. And you know what, you guys? What else? What else do you guys see? Samantha says she is beautiful. Yes, she is beautiful. She is. Some people say she was. She is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. She like, yeah. And then when she got a little older, she kind of looked like, okay. And you know what? She loved these people that let her down. Well, the guy says, I see a very soft-spoken child who appears creative. Life lost too soon. And then, let me put this up there. Because Samantha says, I see the glow all over her face. And Tina says, I like her smile. And then Sanjay says, I do. She looks like she can handle whatever she has to go through. Beautiful girl. Her hope is in her face. Yes, yes. And then, hold on, I missed something. And then she says she's beautiful. And then what God says, I see a very soft-spoken child who appears creative. Life lost too soon. Zena says, I see a deep soul. Can you see, Tina says, I can tell she has spice and spunk. Yep, you can tell she had spunk. That middle picture shows like, you know what? I'll take all three. I'll take all three of y'all. Shoot. Samantha says, I see a leader. You see a leader. Okay, you guys, that's what I see. I see. I don't see I don't even see the pain in her, how she was living with what she was living with. You know what I'm saying? When people despise you, when people talk about you, you don't have to hear what they say. You can look at them and know that they're talking about you. You can read eye language. I was talking to a friend of mine today. Well, not really a friend, but a person. I was just chatting with them, and they kept looking at each other. When they say something, they'll look at each other. And I'm looking at them, and they looking at each other like, oh, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. But they would look at each other like they're trying to confirm and talk to each other through some kind of, I don't know, telepathical way or something. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Look right in the middle and look. That face that she has right there is beautiful. And especially right there on the side, I love that picture right there. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's right there to the left. I can't even point it out. I don't think you guys can see it, but Samantha says, I don't think she's gone. Okay, Samantha, you don't think she's gone. Well, I'm not going to say I disagree with you. I'm not going to say that because, you never know. Well, here's another picture. Let me pull this picture up. There's a picture I want you guys to see. Oh, this picture right here. This pretty picture right here. This is the picture I want you guys to look at. This picture right here. See how pretty she is? Pretty teeth, pretty lips, pretty nose, pretty eyes, pretty skin complexion. She's just pretty all over. Just pretty. Let me see another one of the pictures that we have of her. Who is that? Oh, that's not her right there. Now, I'm going to tell you, let's see. Oh, let me see this right here. Yeah. Yeah, she definitely was a pretty girl. I'm trying to find her pictures though. I don't think I got them over here. I think they're on my phone. Anyway, Samantha says, I don't think she's gone. She had to grow up way too soon with grown-up issues. But you also can tell that she has a story also. Yes. We all sing life, and I'm okay. If that's all you've ever been around, all you've ever experienced, you don't know it's bad. You think it's normal. Exactly. Beautiful baby. Yeah. It says y'all not going to get away with this. Zena says y'all not going to get away with this. Samantha says, do you think that's her at the top? Do y'all think that's her at the top? You mean right here? Is that what you're talking about, Samantha? All of those is Naziah. All those are pictures of Naziah. Freddie says the middle picture shows attitude. Yep. Yep. So you know how sometimes you can look at a person and um, you can you can look at a person and you could tell a lot by them. Like you couldn't look at this girl. Yeah, all of those pictures that's in that what they call a picture facade or whatever. It is all of those are Naziah. Somebody on Facebook made this, and I went and I grabbed it. And I think this is a shirt that they have, collage. You said college, but I know what you're talking about, collage. Right. That's what I was trying to say. She just looked darker. Well, lighting changes everything. See, she wasn't really dark. People say, so you thinking that wasn't Naziah? That's the same little girl. She looks darker because that's probably her face, her actual color. But if you get it collage, yeah. If you get in sunlight, you're gonna look a little bit lighter. Yeah, I know you was trying to help me, girl. I don't even know what I was trying to think of the words, and the only thing I kept thinking of a massage, and I said not a massage, whatever, mirage, collage, something. But you got it, you collage, because I knew exactly when you said college, I knew exactly what you was trying to say. I said, yeah, that's her in every one of those pictures. When she's little, she was lighter when she was little, and she got darker. But then, you're gonna be dark when that's why a lot of people say lighting. When you're doing pictures and stuff, and lighting means everything. It's just the lighting when the picture was taken. Exactly. I forgot she was pregnant too. Yeah. No, it's the lighting. Trust me. It's the lighting, because here's the thing. Check it out. This picture right here, does you think there's lighting because in back of her she has lighting? No, she does not have lighting. She has lighting in back of her. She doesn't have lighting in front. It looks like her hand's just light on the inside. Some darks. I don't think she's dark skinned. She's a brown skin color. But the lighting, and then you got to remember, these are tablets from school. They're cheap. The pics on these tablets are, girl, they make you look like you dated Kunta Kinte. You go take a picture with you better, my daughter would say, you can't take a picture of my daughter. She'd be like, the devil is a lie. You better have a very strong, she said the pics got to be 700 or 800 and something. She's not gonna let you just take a picture of her with any kind of camera. She'd be like, oh, you got an Android, or you got an Apple? And I'll be like, Android. She's like, no, you can't take a picture with that. Not of me. Yeah, the pixels are, and then some cameras you don't need so much lighting. But this tablet that she's using, they're cheap. They're just really cheap. I think she's lighter than what you think. And it just makes her look dark. She said, I just don't think like that picture, because it was said that she was saying goodbye. Well, I tell you what, she don't look unhappy. I don't think she knew she was saying goodbye. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing too. You know, because you see this white shirt that she has underneath. And this is what I was trying to tell everybody. They at that school have to wear a uniform. So she has a full uniform on underneath that black jacket. You guys understand what I'm saying? The background looks cloudy. I think the reason why they kind of cloud the background a little bit, because if you look by her hand, there's a young boy's face. In some pictures, they have to blur that boy's face. You know what I'm saying? Because that's somebody's child. And you don't want to get in trouble because you got pictures of somebody's child. A lot of people have last photos taken and not know it was the last photo. Exactly. So you guys, I think about her. I look at her chin because she got a wide chin. I look at her and she's got a really pretty smile, and for her to be wearing glasses, so, it helps her read and see. I just think that she was just a happy girl. The jacket and the coat says that it is cold. That may be saying that it was photoshopped. Zena, I don't know. I don't know about this. I think this is the original. You know why I think this is the original? Is because had it been photoshopped or chopped, they wouldn't have been able to use it at the preliminary. You know what I'm saying? And they actually took this photo from the tablet from her school. So if they even try to blur anything out, they would, trust me, the defense would be all over it like white on rice. Zena says, I have a picture that my niece had taken before she died, and looking back on it, she looks so sad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, the guy says, yes, it was January. Of course it was cold. Yeah, it was cold. It was January. Remember, it was snowing. It was raining then. Because remember, it was raining when the bus came by and everything. She looks like what she is, a child. She looks like what she is, a child. I see a child looking for love. I think she just wanted to get along, you guys. She looks friendly. She looks really friendly. Like she doesn't even look like a misbehaved child. She definitely do not look like a child that had a relationship with a grown 42-year-old man. Right? Because what does that supposed to look like? So if this young lady was in front of you, could you recognize that she had trouble at home? You wouldn't be able to recognize that because you don't see the pain. You don't see the hurt. You don't see the neglect. You don't see that. I don't see it. If I only had a picture to go on, I don't see None of that. So I wouldn't be able to help her because I would think there's nothing wrong with this young lady. I'm just saying. Woke the guy said I couldn't, unfortunately. Exactly. Zena says, yes, it will be a year next month. She was 54 years old. Her birthday was June the 9th. She would have been 55. Oh, your daughter or your niece? I think you said it was your niece, right? I have a picture of my niece. Yeah, you said your niece. Oh, June the 9th? She would turn 55. Oh, okay. So I believe, she did hide it well. Now, the thing I am going to ask you guys real quick, because we don't have long. I just wanted you guys to know anytime that there's an update, a court date, we're going to come on. We're going to say what happened. Did anything happen? If you came in here late, no. Jarvis did have court today, and they rescheduled his court date for August the 1st, which he already had court dates that day. And that's probably why they said, well, let's just come back August the 1st. Because if you guys do not know, that he is charged with premeditated homicide, first degree. And that's what he should have been. They would have been going over that, and they would have been going over the child sexual activity. Okay? So, because you kind of got to look at the two charges. I think it was 2 and 10 or 2 and 8. Anyway, those were the two charges. Anyway, on August, they're going to go over, and I did look at that because I did not know that they rescheduled. So I was like, oh, he's got a court date coming in August the 1st. What is that? But I did not know that they rescheduled this today for August the 1st. But they're going to go over, they're probably going to go over the final calendar conference, and then they're going to go over 2, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 charges. So they're going to go over Naziah, the charges that was abuse against Naziah, and they're going to go over the charges against the other victims. Okay? Because there's no reason in the world that they would have under the age of 13 3 times, unless they were going to go over Naziah's, and now they're going to go over all of the girls. Unfortunately, people like that do hide their trauma very well, hoping nobody notices. Exactly. Samantha says, August the 1st is my birthday. Well, then make sure you let us know. You come in here and let us know so we don't forget before August the 1st come up that he goes back to court. I'm going to tell you guys something before I get off of here, because we got a little bit of time, not that much. But I was checking out the cousin Roxy, and I appreciate that she puts out information. She puts out detailed information, but it seems to me like she is putting out posts like she's talking to Shannon, telling Shannon to turn herself in. Like, don't take this to the grave with you. And everything. I don't know. I'm just telling you that when I read her posts, I'm getting that vibe. Now, I will say this before I get off of here, you guys, that because I was a little surprised. Sometimes it's the little things that come that you start noticing. Yeah, Lisa Calhoun said, oh, yeah. Yeah, she was like, well, let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. I don't know if I can or not, but let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. Uh, Cause I think Roxy, she done friend me. Yeah, y'all, she done friend me. So I'm a friend of hers now on Facebook. Isn't that some? I bet you she didn't know it was me. She probably didn't know it was me. It's okay. If she did not know it was me, it's okay. Oh, I can't pull it up. I wish I could. I wish I could. But anyway, she was putting up these posts. She said, I believe Roxy has something to do with it as well. What? Samantha? You were doing good, Samantha. Why do you think Roxy has something to do with it? She wasn't even in town. Oh my goodness. Zeta says, me too, SV. I really do think Shannon definitely has something to do with it. It's just the vibe I get, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Shannon looks very, very guilty. But Samantha gonna say she think Roxy got something to do with it. Girl, Roxy wasn't even in town. Why would no, Samantha? What makes you? She says she covered by the blood of Jesus. What makes you think that? What makes you say that? Samantha said, "I think Roxy." Girl, what what made you think that? Everyone has secrets, but some secrets are meant to be told. Yeah, Freddie. She said, "I'm sorry, but it's something about her." Samantha, what? I like Roxy. She may not even know me, you know, but the girl out there beating down doors, looking through all kind of just maybe she does do a lot. She does do a lot, but she was not nowhere around. She ain't seen Naziah since Naziah was a baby. How? She said, I'm sorry. Okay, well, hey. Zeta says, no, I don't think Roxy has anything to do with it. No, I don't either. I don't either. But, I mean, we're not judging you, Samantha. We're not judging you. People going, maybe, like maybe Samantha sees something that we all don't see. You know what I'm saying? Because, I do be thinking to myself sometimes, like, well, Kenya is Roxy's mom. And Kenya comes over here sometimes and she comes in the chat. And, but like I say all the time, I say, you know what? Here's the thing. Like, I mean, I can't even ask them questions because they don't know just like we don't know. I mean, we've asked all the undirect questions that we could. If there was a direct question, I got a number. I would call. And ask. She said Roxy lives in another state. She just there. She came there and she been there. I don't know if she's sleeping on somebody's couch or what's going on, but she been trying to. Let me tell you something. She said, I like her too, but my spirit doesn't sit well with her. Oh, okay. I understand. And you know what? One thing about my spirit, when my spirit tells me something, I go with my spirit. I may not say nothing, but baby, you better believe me and my spirit, huh? My spirit have never told me wrong. Never, ever, ever, ever. You know? Freddie saying she will call and ask. Believe me, she will. I will. I would ask her mama. Because, we some mamas up in here. So she may not answer, Roxy may not answer my phone call, but I got her mama number. I call her mama, and and her mama's very protective, right? So I would be like, "Hey, Kenya, could you tell me why Roxy's, whatever, whatever?" She said Shannon told her something on that live. Shannon told Roxy something. Well, yeah, they gonna talk. They cousins, right? You know, yep. They're gonna talk, but I don't know. I don't think Roxy. Here's the thing, and this is what I want you to just pay attention to. Roxy, is she genuine? I think 90% of her is genuine. To be honest with you, why do I say that? I think anybody that does this type of work, and this is, some people get mad if you take $1. Some people get mad if you sell a T-shirt. And I try to tell people all the time, yeah, it might sound like a good idea, but people gonna wonder what you're doing with the money. They want to keep their eyes in your pocket, so it's probably not best, but that's what they did. And then that's when everybody started going, oh, what about the money? And she sold some cupcakes or whatever. And I'm like, shoot, if she sold a cupcake and made 10, $20, good for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to stop her from, because you know what? All the time that you put into this, and she's doing a lot when it comes down to keeping everybody in the loop of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate her. She didn't know Jarvis. She don't like Jarvis. I mean, are we going to be mad at people because they're kin to Shannon? I mean, I can understand. At first, remember you guys, I never go back on what I said. I said I could not understand because nobody's giving me no information on Shannon and Marquita. So I did not know to make a decision whether I like them or not like them. And then people was like, you like Shannon? I was like, Shannon ain't did nothing to me. What are you talking about? Well, what did Shannon do? Well, tell me, but when I started listening to their testimony, Shannon is not believable. Now, just because Shannon brought Jarvis into the fold, well, Marquita brought Jarvis in the fold too. So you can't tell me, like at first I kind of thought, why is everybody mad at them? But then when I started listening to the testimony and then finding out that the little girl, the cousin, Marquita's daughter, was a victim, or, seeing him victimizing Naziah, there's no way in the world you could tell me that the adults did not know what was going on. And this is something I was going to say this on the last live, and somehow I got distracted. But nevertheless, here's the thing, you guys. Shannon got her kids taken away, And Annette got her kids, because remember, Annette done adopted some kids. So Annette got her kids taken away. And here's the thing. So CPS don't come in and take your kids unless there's finding information about something that ain't right. Okay? That's the only reason. Mm-hmm. That's they'll come and take your kids if you don't got a roof over your head. They'll come and take your kids if you ain't got food. They'll come take your kids if you ain't got your lights on, or you ain't got hot water, or or you ain't got running water or something. They'll come take your kids. That is not the equation here. They took Shannon's kids because of all of that. All of that. Yeah. Suspicious, mushy. Blessings. My spirit, nah, tick to nah, a damn. She know JB. Ask Roxy where GoFundMe money is. Is that what she a rent board or kayak with? She asked them anyone know where hired them? Oh, where kayak? Kayak. I know what you're talking about. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. And this is why I don't say anything negative about Roxy, because guess what? She was not here for years. You know, for years. Not 1 year, not 2 years, but years. She was not here. She hadn't seen Naziah since Naziah was a little bitty old thing. You know? Now I can see you get mad at Janelle and Kiwana. I can see you get mad at them, but shoot, they even actually turned them in and called CPS and made reports. You know, they made reports. I mean, what you can't go over there and just, you know, take the kids out the house and, I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys something, when and this is just the way this is something that I believe, and you may not see it, but when you believe, and this is for anybody in the chat, whatever your spirit tells you, if you don't want to be someplace or you don't like somebody, you don't really have to have a reason. That's between you and God. You know what I'm saying? Like if something's off of this person, maybe you are right. Like follow your heart or whatever, if that's what you believe. And maybe in time we'll see that. But as far as, because some cupcakes or she sold a t-shirt and, like what she did with the money, I don't know what she did with the money. I really don't care what she did with the money, because Naziah, I know she had a balloon release. I know that. And it was beautiful. And that's what the world do now. They symbolize life and death and things of that nature with balloon release and having memorial dances and parties. I don't know, but like I just didn't see nothing wrong with if you sold a shirt and like I seen her out there looking. I seen her out there yelling and screaming while the newscast was talking about Zion Foster. This is way before everybody jumped on the case and wanted to. I seen her already before anybody else was really talking about Naziah. I seen her out there. I'm not giving her all the props in the world, you guys. I'm just not. I'm just saying I did not. I just, when you have a little cousin and you really wasn't there, you know how I tell you guys, like if something happened to your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, whatever, and you could have seen them one more time, or you could have took them to the store, or they wanted to come over and you told them tomorrow, and tomorrow never came, or whatever, or you went out of town, you moved out of town, and then they, you, even though that you're not a part of that situation, you're going to find yourself feeling guilty. You're going to blame yourself. I could have done this. I could have done that. I couldn't. And now maybe she's trying to make up for her not being there and not seeing the signs. I don't know. She been in Detroit 2 years. If she don't know Naziah, why come like you care? When this trial finally start, y'all balloons real won't in 2 years. Ask Roxy where her kids are. They not with her. I don't know. Suspicious say, ask Roxy where her kids is. I don't know. Well, Samantha says, I'm not mad at her. I just feel she knows something that she is holding back on. Okay. Zena says, yes, SP. I used to go to the hair salon and they had a girl that used to shampoo the people's hair, and I had a strong negative vibe with girl, and I would refuse her shampooing my hair. Girl, I know what you're saying. Shoot, you ain't finna put no nair up over here. Even just a little nair, do it. Oh, my goodness. Hell yeah. I understand. My mother told me ways how to do that. And you know what? One day I said to myself, I'm going to try and see if that happens. If it's true, if you do this will happen. Girl, people hair falling out and everything. I said to myself, oh, Lord. So, follow your spirit. I follow my spirit. I really do. I try to. And when I don't, I kick myself in the butt. There might be something that you just don't, it just don't sit well with you with her. But you got to remember, if you make it about Roxy, then it'll be about Roxy. If you keep it about Naziah, then, Naziah and Roxy is kin just because they're kin. They can't change that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people sitting there going, oh, I wish I was kin to Naziah. No, I wouldn't want to be kin to her. Because it seems like the whole family they're just weird. They're weird. And I'm pretty sure that, Roxy and her family, and they got some skeletons just like you and I got skeletons, but I just, just because you got skeletons in your closet doesn't mean, like what, I'm going to say this. I'm going to ask you guys this question real quick, because you guys, I don't think you're getting off focus. I just think that you might be worried about the wrong thing. But I'm going to ask you this question because, see, I'm not a spokesperson for Roxy, Kenya, Kaya, Kenyetta, Janaya, Janella, whatever. We're for the kids. But here's the thing. What can Roxy get out of this? I knew a girl that I braided her hair and she was killed days later. But before she left my house, she something about my earrings And that bothered me that I didn't give them to her. Um, well, Zena, hmm, tell me, what can Roxy gain from what she's doing right now? Be honest. I just want to know because when people tell me something, I take it as face value, exactly what they say. I just, I'll look and see if there's anything. I have not seen nothing with Roxy. I'm just being honest. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now, when they found that tether in the park or whatever, I don't know what that was about. That was weird to me. I think that was bull. I do. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I just don't. But okay, you're having a little fun or whatever. It's not cute, it's not funny or whatever. I don't get it. I don't think she found a tether. I just think that was some bull. You guys understand what I'm saying? And it could I just doubt it. Now, and I think to myself, you're keeping the people focused. What? You're keeping people focused on Facebook because, Facebook do pay you to run your lives and have likes or views or something. I don't know. I'm not on Facebook like that. So I think I just got on there not to finding a tether. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing. Yeah, that was kind of just weird to me. That was weird. Maybe she is trying to help, like on the Cody case. Well, I tell you what, sometimes people help a little bit too much. If she actually took that tether to the police department, they probably looking at her. You know what I'm saying? Did anybody see a live where she's walking into the police station and she's giving them this tether? I just think that was just some hype. That's just internet for you. I don't think that tether was king. That would have been noted, and he didn't have one on. I don't know what that was all about, you guys. I have no clue. I think she lost a lot of people believing her when they shouldn't have been believing what they were hearing in the first place. Like, you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing illegal about going live and saying, hey, that's a tether. Isn't that a tether, you guys? Ain't that what King had on? With let me, and then, I don't think that's weird that she did that. That's very weird. But as weird as it sounds, let her keep doing weird stuff like that, and she'll find herself talking to the FBI. You know? Just like that supposed video of Naziah going into the hotel. What supposed video? I seen a picture of a girl and they said it was Naziah. That's just how I feel. I know. But people do stuff like that. You know what, Samantha and Zena? There was a girl, and I don't know if you guys know it, but on the Cody case, she told us that, remember there was a kid that they found in a suitcase. And it was a little boy in a suitcase. Well, she came on our channel, and she was mad at me. And I was like, why are you mad at me? And she was like, because you rolled your eyes. I said, because I rolled my eyes. I didn't even know what this girl was talking about. And I was like, I rolled my eyes. Well, that's why it's a lot of times, especially now, I just don't even hey, y'all can look at the avatar because I'm not trying to roll my eyes. It's just sometimes, that's how I talk. But anyway, she was telling us this and telling her that. And I had told her I did not really want her to come on my channel and talk to the people in my channel because I'm not with the foolery. Well, this young lady, she came up anyway. And I said, and I said it right in front of everybody. I said, I tried to warn you not to come on this channel. Did not warn you. I can't even remember the girl's name. And she said, yeah, you told me. I said, okay. Okay, y'all tell us what's going on. Well, she had allegedly had found a jacket of the little boy. Well, a jacket, but we, to make it think a little boy was missing named Cody Bixby. And the little boy, like 4 or 5 years old. So she found a little jacket in the play area by his house. So the police picked up the jacket. And so everybody was, patting her on the back and thinking that she's now some kind of detective or investigator or whatever. Well, anyway, she talked to us a couple of times or whatever. And she said some people didn't like her and this, that, and the other. And she come on the channel and her and her friends was telling us that they went down to the little town where this little boy was found in the woods in a suitcase. Yeah, her name was Kay. That's right, Freddie, you got it. Her name was Kay. And they were having the funeral for that little boy that was in the suitcase because they didn't know who the mother was, the father was, or anybody. He was just left in the suitcase. And so they went down there for the weekend. And I said, wow. So I had got some phone calls saying, SP, well, why you didn't go? A member said, we will fly you out there and pay for the car. And you didn't go. Why you didn't go? And I said, because they said it wasn't Cody. That's why I didn't go. They said it wasn't Cody. And they wanted us to quit even thinking it was Cody. It was not Cody. And so I kind of felt like, wow, so these girls did way more than what I would have done because when they say it's not Cody, right? Okay. So I was talking on the phone to one of our members her name was Lisa. She's an attorney up in the Chicago area. Anyway, I kind of got to talking about it. And so I said, well, let me go ahead and call the mortuary because why would they let these girls come down there from a whole different state and see this baby? Because the girl told me, I asked the question. The only question I asked her, oh, so y'all got to see the baby? And they both said at the same time, yeah, SP. I said, wow, really? They said, yeah. So I said, well, what did the baby look like? Because I want to make sure it's not Cody. So I'm asking, what did the baby look like? And the girl said, all I can remember was his teeth. His teeth was just like the boys in California City. Now, the sad thing about that whole situation is we poured our money into the California City boys. We put up banners and billboards and sent money and got in arguments with them people down there and calling the police and looking for them kids and everything. And it went for years. I mean, tearing up channels and everything done happen. We just like, wow. Well, maybe it wasn't Cody. Maybe it was the California City Boys. Now she got us all in our feelings, and we thinking maybe one of those kids was one of the classic or sincere. Yeah. So I called down there to the mortuary that held the funeral service. It just so happened the owner of the funeral home answered the phone. And I said, can I speak to the director? And I was recording it. I was recording it because, I didn't want to miss nothing. Anyway, she said, this is her. I'm the director. You're the director. Okay. I said, so the little boy that was in the suitcase, you guys had a viewing? And she says, no, ma'am. No, we ain't had no viewing. I said, yeah, you did. She said, no, ma'am. No, we didn't have no viewing. There's nothing to view. I said, no. I said, I had 2 young ladies come down there and they viewed this baby's body. She said, ma'am, there is no body to view. I said, what do you mean? She said it was a bag of bones that they had already buried months previous to the funeral service. Because first I asked her, are you sure? Maybe one of your workers let them in and see and view this baby. She said it couldn't have. That's when she told me that it was a bag of bones that was already placed in the burial site 2 months prior to having the service. They were actually just having the service. She said, wasn't nothing in the casket. Y'all remember that? Y'all just tell me. Do you know I ain't seen or heard of Kay ever since, but her friend came back on the live and was try to tell me, so what did we see as Pete? Girl, if you don't get out of here, I'm not finna sit there and talk craziness with you. What did you see? Do you think that you can come over here and tell us anything? I wasn't even trying to figure it out. It wasn't even on my mind. But for you to sit here and lie on how good you did this or how good you did that, or you found a jacket and now you done went and visit this baby and it looks like the California City Boy. Girl, you know what? It was sad. It was sad. And they was like, I'm sorry. They was like, answer the phone, SP, answer. No. I'm not talking to crazy people. That doesn't even make sense. I just let y'all listen to the director say, ma'am, ain't nobody seen nothing. There's nothing to see. And we took care of that 2 months ago. Basically what she said. I just wrapped it up really quick in one sentence for you. People do stuff for certain reasons. We don't know why they do it. I'm not saying this has anything to do with Roxy, but like when she found the tether, I don't know. I have no clue. But whatever. I don't believe she found the tether. I don't even know what that was all about. I think she was making fun of the people that was in the chat and getting y'all riled up. That's what I think. And sometimes people do that. They give you something to talk about so you can go sit down or something, or say, I don't know. But for you to go to a random place and then find a tether and, I just, whatever. People do things for their own reasons. I don't know why, but, that's why when somebody has a feeling about something or somebody, okay, go with your feeling, go with your feeling. But so if they told that, she says, so if they told, what'd you say, Zena? Hold on. She says, so they told that bold-faced lie, definitely couldn't believe them about a jacket. Exactly. Girl, when that came out, I don't know if you was around when that all happened. A lot of the people that's in this chat right now, they were there when all of that went down. And we were all sitting there, and she was in the chat. Girl, they try to tear me up, and a black woman taking down another black woman. I can't believe USP, you trying to down a black woman, da 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 da. No. I think it's very disgraceful for you to lie on a dead child and then lie on 2 other dead kids that we can't freaking find while we're looking for this, while you're playing games. That's what's disgraceful. And I never seen her again. I didn't cuss her out. I didn't say nothing. I just let everybody hear the director, the owner of the mortuary, tell the truth. And the truth don't lie. It don't change. It is what it is. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. And like I said, and I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't looking to expose her. I was looking to see, did I make the wrong decision and not go down there and see this kid when I could have with no problem? So, yeah. So you might be right. You might have a reason. And I have seen one thing when she was out in the park and found a tether, but I don't know if she was doing that for kicks and giggles. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just know, like, here's the thing. I can't get mad at her because she wasn't in town when Naziah came up missing. I can't get mad at her if she wasn't in town when all this abuse and these birthday parties was going on and these kids was telling grown-ups, because she wasn't here. So what she do now is her business. You know what I mean? Like, if she's at least getting people to see her face or something, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why she's doing it. I have no clue. I have no clue. Anyway, you guys, I mean, if you guys can figure it out, like what the guys say, yeah, people do this type of thing for clout. We listen and we don't judge. You know, we even found out that one of the people that was supporting the Cody Bixby we was rooting for, she took all the money. She took all the money. And then tried to tell me, but SP. And I told her, I said, hey, no, that's the same check. No, it ain't. That's a whole different check. I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. And you cannot, girl, money orders got all different numbers on them. You cannot have the same number on 3 different cashier's check or money orders. That's the same one. She was talking about, no, that's $1,500. No, that's the same check. That's the same one. I just said, girl, please. Don't make me, don't even come over here playing. I think Tina Powers is the only one who bought a shirt, but she didn't get her money back. Zena said, I remember that too. Freddie said, I remember too. Yeah, her math was, and you wanted me to tell the people what? You showed me the check. Then you showed me another check, and you showed me another check, and they all got the same numbers on them. And you try to, and you know what I'm saying? And you try to doctor it up or something, but it's the same number on the check. You know what I'm saying? And I just left it alone. And asked her why. And she said she got broke. And I think sometimes some people, they get off into trying to do things and then the numbers are not coming out right. Like we'll have 2 or 3 people in here. We still going to come on no matter what. We got 2 or 3. We're not trying to get 100, 200, 300, 400. Because if we want 200, 300, 400, I'll show you how to get them in here. I will show you how to get them in here. I know exactly what to do. And they'll come running in here too. They'll come running in here and they be hot as catfish grease. But that don't help. You know what I'm saying? You got to be very careful. So if your spirit don't set well, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your spirit don't set well, your spirit don't set well. You trust your spirit before you trust what anything anybody else is saying. You trust your spirit. Because you never know. Because people will tell you something. And you know that they have the audacity to be like, and I swear, SP, I swear I'm telling you the truth. I know it. And you can't tell me. What else was we looking at? Tell me that, SP. Tell me. Because we were there and I seen it for myself. Then who was the detective? Girl, if you don't just get out of my face, is what I told them. I'm not going to sit here and try to explain your lie to you. I said, you're telling a lie and the truth ain't in you. And that's it. That settles it. That's the end. Whether you like me or not, or cuss me out or call me names, you're lying. I don't know if you went out of town, but you ain't seen no baby. And once you done went through times of bullcrap like that, you start to be a little bit suspicious of people. And like I said, and I'll say it again, I myself do not have a problem with Roxy right now. At this time and what she has done and did. And even with the tether, I'm like, girl, I don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll get some views or clicks or something, or I don't know. I have no clue. But I know one thing. And that's the main thing, Like, did you have anything to do with Naziah? She don't, because she wasn't there. Like, you wasn't there and I wasn't there. I couldn't blame you if you wasn't there. Now, she might be about all that bull crap right now, but I mean, that don't mean nothing. That's probably her whole persona in the first place. She probably just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in anyway. I mean, like, I just think the girl is cuckoo anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because she be doing some stupid, crazy stuff. And I mean, it's just some people, yeah, they feed off of that drama and stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't think she got, and I think Shannon knows better to tell her anything. Shannon probably wouldn't even tell her if the house was on fire. But I just think she likes for people to be, I think she likes to be honest with you, I think Roxy likes to be mysterious. You know what I mean? I think she just likes to be mysterious. And she's a beautiful girl. Don't get me wrong now. And when she fixes herself up, she's very pretty. But nah, I ain't. I just, she can't do no harm to this case. If she could do harm, it's probably them shoes they found. You know what I'm saying? It's probably them shoes that they done found. Because them shoes don't make sense. And there's probably a reason why they didn't do a DNA on them shoes. And you know what? And I'm gonna say this, and I if they lose the case because of these freaking shoes that they sit back and had Shannon Jones contacted by the brother, try to get these shoes in there and find out that these is not the shoes, that can make them lose the case. Then get mad, because I don't know who found these shoes, but those are not Naziah's shoes. Those are not Naziah's shoes. Okay? But it can make them lose the case. It only takes one juror to say, well, it looked like the shoe, but it ain't the shoe. I don't know if it's the shoe. Okay, let's look at the picture of the shoe she wearing. But y'all seen these shoes and y'all trying to say these is the shoe. Now, what else are you saying that is not so? Because if it was me as a juror and you come with some foolishness, it only, shoot, if the peg don't fit the circle hole, you know what they say. If it don't fit, we must acquit. And then y'all gonna be mad. That's when you get mad. Because who put the shoes out there? Because there's a reason why they didn't do a DNA on some sweaty gym shoes. Them was not the shoes she was wearing on the picture when she was walking from the bus stop down the street. It wasn't the same shoes. And then y'all sent this picture to Vira, the brother, whatever, Naziah's brother. And then he sent it to Shannon. So she said, pick up the shoes. And so now you got some lookalikes. And I'm going to tell you something really funny about them shoes that's really weird. I got a pair of shoes like that. They are actually vintage shoes. They're Air Force, but they're actually vintage shoes. They're not, and some people be like, oh, and they could be the cheap ones. I don't know. I don't know. But, those shoes right there are not like just a really cheap pair of shoes, Yeah. But I tell you, if the jurors come back and talk and then they say, well, one person just could not give them, just could not be in agreement with us. So they say it was, what do they call it? When all the jurors do not agree, maybe even one say, I can't say this was premeditated murder because, they're looking at the shoe or something. They is it acquitted or something? And then they're going to have to trial it all over again. And they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But what they are going to do, they are going to charge him with those other two girls. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going down either way. But, you know, the ones he's supposed to allegedly have her DNA on it, the jacket allegedly supposed to have her DNA on it, and I don't question that. She said deadlock. Okay. Okay. But it's called something. You call it a deadlock. It's called let me see. What is it called when one juror don't agree with the other 11? A hung juror. It's called a hung juror, also called a deadlocked juror. Is a judicial juror that cannot agree upon the verdict after extended deliberation is unable to reach the required unanimities of a hung juror may result in the case being tried again. This situation can only occur in common law legal systems. Okay, when a juror cannot agree on a verdict, it's called a hung juror. Okay. Arthritis and diabetes. Jamala says arthritis and diabetes. Oh, Lord, just something else. Let me see here. In such situation, the judge typically declares a mistrial, and the case may be retried with the new juror or dismissed. And I think that he will get found guilty on it, even if it was a mistrial. I think they will just redo it with another juror. The juror, which the trial ends without a verdict, a mistrial, deadlock. If even one juror disagrees with the others, the juror is considered deadlocked or hung juror. In some cases, a hung juror can also be a result of jury nullification, where jurors vote against the evidence or the law, but this is not always the case. Exactly, SP. It was blotched. Yeah. I think they're trying to make it blotched, you know? If she comes up with more evidence, if she, you know, and I think just for her own well-being and to, you know, she needs to just do her post or whatever and not go searching, you know, just because even if she found something, it'd just be a hot mess. You know what I mean? Because yeah. And let's see what's if it's a hung jury twice. If a juror is hung twice, meaning they fail to reach a verdict in two separate trials, the prosecution has several options. The prosecution can choose to retrial again, potentially the third juror, or they might decide to negotiate a plea with the defendant or even drop the charges. And, you know, that ain't going to happen. What's going to happen is, you guys, I believe that, you know, I don't know about the murder. I don't know. And normally when I say I don't know, it usually go through. Even though that this is a very hard case for them to try. Why? Because they don't know when, they don't know where, they don't know how. They don't know, and they don't really know what for, you know? So you tell me, it's almost like if you got a job, but you don't know when to start, or you don't know where to go to get started, or you don't know how much you're going to get paid, or you don't know what your job is. It's hard to say that you do that job, right? Can you say you do a good job if you don't know? You can't. There's no way. So when they go to court, it's going to have to be on feelings and sympathy and empathy to get the jurors to understand that this is a child, someone's daughter. She was a part of the community, and she's a baby. And even being pregnant is just weird, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Which that will draw some tension, especially to the women, knowing that this child was nothing but 12 years old. But, and then what's going to set the stage right is going to be when the baby girl, Brooklyn, gets on the stage and tell how she's seen Jarvis stick his pee-pee in Naziah's butt. They're going to know for sure that, guess what? He's a pedophile. He's a pedophile. But I just don't understand why wouldn't they take everything in that area if you have a young girl missing. They didn't. Because she said it was a lot of trash, and I believe it was. I believe it's a lot of trash. Look at the homes down there. I mean, shoot, half of them was condemned. There's people living out on the street. Yeah, oh, girl, ain't no way in the world I would live out on the street, and you got 10 houses on one block that's condemned, boarded up. I would be sleeping in that house, in them houses. She said, you get mad every time you say what he did to her? Mm-hmm. That's what the little girl said. That's what the little girl said. The little girl said, and I quote, the thing that he takes to pee with, he stuck it in Naziah's booty hole. That's word for word. She said, I know, you quoted her. Yeah, word for word. That's what's going to get the jurors to find him guilty. That. Could you just imagine? I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm a grown woman. And you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not, no, I'm not doing that. I think that's for people who likes that, or people that, go that direction or whatever. I'm not doing that. That right there would be very, very painful. Just imagine, and I am a grown woman. Okay? Just imagine. Just imagine this child being 12. That should make you mad. And it will. She said, I still think Jarvis is going to talk. I don't know about that. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? He done lost everything. He's got nothing to lose. He done lost everything. Because when that baby told them that, there was no way someone prepared her to say those words. You know what I'm saying? She didn't stutter. She just said, she answered the question. And one thing about a child knows how to lie. People say kids don't know how to lie. Yeah, they do. But you know what? When a child is telling the truth, it's the adults that look at the child and know what that child said is the truth. And you can't tell me what that child said and how she said it. I don't even have to be there. She said what she knew that, okay, you said that he was having sex. Okay, what do you consider sex? The thing that he pee with, he stuck it in Naziah's butt. In her butthole. All I can hear is those jail doors locking up. Clink, clink. You're done. And I you know what? I would have loved to be just a fly on the wall when he said, I bet you his head hung low. And the family was sitting there and they was like, I even asked 3 people that was there. They would not tell me. I asked 3 people that was there that day when the little girl got on the stand. I said, they closed down and they had court again. What was said? Because I did not know until it was told to me. Oh no. There's 2 other people that they closed the courtroom down. And I'm like, what? And I had to tell you guys. Orchard says, I still think, Orchard Parent Purple, I still think he's going to talk. It's a difference between 15 to 20 for SA and 75 years to life. Orchard Purple. That's just this case. He's got 2 more cases. And that's just one charge. He's got 2 more charges with Naziah and like 15, 14 on the other 2 charges. She said, yep, he's going to talk. Girl, talk for what? I'm going to put myself in Jarvis's shoe. I'm going to put myself in Jarvis's shoe. If it was me, would I talk? No. Because I'm already gone. You got 2 other little girls. You got 1 child missing, and you got 2 other little girls. And not only that, my own daughter. She's saying that I done something to my own daughter. He's gone. You know, there's really nothing for him to talk about. What? Only thing, you know what? The only thing that he can do to get a lesser sentence is if he tells where her body is at. I'm telling y'all right now. And he can't tell you where her body is because it's in a landfill. It's not in no lake, not in no river. It's not in no house or anything. It's in a landfill where they not going to go look because it's too late. Oh, SPA, I wish you was wrong. I hope you wrong. I don't believe that. Da-da-da-da-da. That ain't what I wish. but it's just math. You know, when a child speak like that, they know usually from experience. Exactly, Zena. Exactly, and they know that crap hurt too. It's just that I still will take Shannon with me. And throw away the key. Yes, thank you, Freddie Johnson. Yes, and throw away the key. Well, anyway, you guys, sometimes we have these heart to heart talks, and, we get stressed out about things in our life. But it's good to just have the truth in front of us instead of we sitting there talking stupid about, and I say stupid about like, you know, um, uh, you know, Marquita and her boyfriend. I don't care about Marquita and her boyfriend. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about Marquita and her boyfriend. I don't care if they get along, get together. She talking about, well, he this and he that, and I'm going to say something. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Ugh. And if I didn't know all of this about Marquita and Shannon and they being twins, you know, I mean, not only they're ugly, like a physical ugly. I don't look at people as a physical look, but their whole demeanor is ugly. It's just ugly. When she was standing there beside her mom, Shannon was standing there beside her mom and had her mama talking or whatever. She just standing there like what do we do? Like what do we she said, you know what I'm saying? They always come out all big and bold, like I'm a handle mine. I bet you none of y'all bees will come over here and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like, woman, you didn't even, so I don't even know why we even thought Shannon was going to protect Naziah when she didn't even protect her own child. It doesn't even make sense. It makes you mad because a mother is supposed to be, protecting the children and loving on the children and making sure that they take their baths and brush their teeth and get ready for school and get, their hair is groomed and even if you're not together, get your kids together or try to or whatever, or just make sure they got an education. Even if you don't do none of that, just make sure they got an education. Love them enough. You brought them in this world. Quit laying down with Tom, Dick, and Harry saying they all Jarvis or whatever, and just real pride. Oh, my kid, 5 kids. I got 5 kids, and they're Jarvises, and da 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 da. Like sending them money, and like you could, And the funny thing about this whole situation, you guys, is women was allowing this man to pick up their kids, take them to the store, pick up the kid. Oh, he a good father. Oh, I wanted to have kids by him. Oh, he's a good dad. He always talking about his kids. What man, you never, you don't even see the kids, but he's steady talking about some kids. These women all, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just, Nay was like, and we made love. And he showed me attention. I'm thinking to myself, and we gonna see her. What the heck does she look like? Because, girl, huh, how in the world you trusting a man that don't take you nowhere, don't take you out to eat, don't drive you in his car, don't take you to no family functions, and not only that, you still talking to him and get mad. You know what? People was like, oh, she mad at you. She mad at you because she heard some on Facebook or whatever, on TikTok or something, and somebody said that she sound dumb. Well, no, she sound desperate. That's what she sound. She sound desperate. Like, you gotta have and I don't think any woman has to be desperate. You don't have to be desperate, you know, no matter what you look like. If you lay down, somebody will lay down with you. It doesn't matter. My mother taught me that a long time ago. If you don't believe me, just go try it. You ain't got to have a roof over your head. You ain't got to have 2 pennies to your name. If you lay down, some monster will lay down with you. But sometimes you got to pick who you want to lay down with. And we do make bad decisions and have, and lay down with somebody that we think is okay. But it's who you put around your children is what's not okay. She said she sounded like she had a developmental disability to me. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, she was in love with him, just like all these other women. They were in love with him. They're in love with him. But you can't tell me that you couldn't see this coming. They just want to pick up the kids, and they're giving special attention to the girls and kiki. And then let me tell you something. The first time that they heard about the touching and the feeling, and Janelle went and told, they heard it again 2 months later. They heard it. This man didn't care what they heard. Did it stop him? No. Did he stop coming over? No. Did he go to the school? Yep. Did he continue going to birthday parties and showing up and, picking them up and they letting him go? Yep. Ain't no way in the world. You be like, well, I'm going to pick up the kids. After your kids done told you something, even if it was a miscommunication or mistake, even if it was, what do? Well, just so, you know what I tell my kids? If my kids come over or my friends come over, I move my purse. I go take it to the room or put it beside me or whatever. And they be like, dang, Mom, I ain't going to take nothing from you. Man, I'm going to make sure that I don't even have to consider you if something comes up missing. You see what I'm saying? I'm protecting you by getting you out the equation. My purse is way in the other room. And I didn't say that you would take something from me. The thing about it is, I make sure that is not going to be a problem. So why? And women think like that. Women do think like that. So why is it when they heard something happened at the birthday party, something happened at another party, and he's showing up at the school, why they didn't remove this child from the equation? Well, you can tell me he didn't do nothing. He just had to bring me some money and this. Well, I'm going to make sure nothing's going on. And so he cannot come back over here. Or you, okay, when he do come, you sit your butt down in front of me. You don't move. You stay right there. So nobody can say you ran out there in the car and you was doing some sucky. Now we ain't got to worry about it. We do not have to worry about nobody saying you did this or he did that. That's what you do as a parent. My daughter, my youngest daughter, came home one day. She done told me that she was going to stay at school. When I called the school, they was like, no, she's not here at the school. So you know what? I waited till she got home. She got home. I said, guess what? You was not at school. And she just looks at me. And for that reason, you can no longer stay after school. Because I don't know where you was at, but you was somewhere and you had to lie about it. And she was like, oh, okay. So she quit having to stay after school and she comes straight home. She comes home one day, she getting in a fight with this girl. I said, what you getting in a fight with this girl about? This girl said I was down in the basement and I was doing this and doing that. They wouldn't have said that if you wouldn't have been there, if you was coming home. So I believe if they think something happened, it probably did because you was lying to me. So what we will do now is don't ever let that happen again. She ain't going to have to worry about you being in the basement ever again. Because if you don't come home from school, I'm calling the police. You better have your butt on that bus and on your way home. They're making fun of me because she know I'm going to go to the school and find out what's going on. But like I said, if you move that person from the equation, they can't be saying stuff like that. Yeah, they were. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. It was nice chatting with you guys. And Naziah is on the screen and she's saying hi. You know what, you guys? I think that one day the children the things that's happening, we'll get our answers. We will. We may not get it here now, today, or October the 6th, whatever, but these people that's doing this stuff, they're going to have to answer to it. So, you got to remember that God loves the sinner. So while we sitting there wishing bad things for the people that has done these things, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm just saying, pray for everybody, all right? Because we don't know what happened to that young man for him to be thinking the stuff that he done. We do know he think he's smart. But you know what I pray for? And you know what? And I'm just saying, because I think that it continues to happen because everybody that is a part of it don't get charged, or we don't really know their part in it. Like, say, for instance, if Shannon did have a part in it and she doesn't get, no charges, then she thinking, that's all she worried about right now. Or Annette, or Marquita, or Jarvis' sister, or King, or the woman from Isley. I don't know. I'm just saying, Roxy, I don't know, If anybody do have a part of it, I just pray that God reveals it and let it come out. Let somebody speak on it. And we might get mad when they start telling the truth or something. But, let somebody just come out and just tell the truth. But it don't work like that. It's like pulling teeth. You know, some people think it's easy just to pull somebody's teeth out. Try to pull your teeth out with your hand if you want to. You know? Sometimes you got to tie a rope around the tooth, and then after that, tie it to the doorknob, and then slam the door. And then the tooth will come out. I mean, you really got to put something into it. You got to work to get the truth out. And then sometimes when people ain't got nothing else to lose, they just say, okay, if I did do it. I did. I doubt that's going to happen because he's got to live in prison for the rest of his life. So y'all be like, oh, he can just tell us the truth. I be like, girl, please. That man going to have to live in prison. And then if he say, yeah, he's a dead man walking anyway. Prison ain't as hard as everybody say it is. But he will deal with a lot of challenges because anytime he get into it with somebody, they'd be like, yeah, woo, you did this to the kids. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people won't go tell when he get his butt whooped. But I just wish that what is ever the Lord say is his revenge, he will have it. And if he found guilty, so be it. We'll see. But October is not that far away, you guys. October is not that far. We in the middle of June, so we got the end of June, then we got July, August, September, October. We got 4 months. So that's 30 days times 4, that's 120, and then 15, 120, 30, 35, 135 days. All right. He would be better off called Ella in prison. Girl, my mom didn't play, period. Mother knows best. Mother knows everything. 4 months, yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here. I will see you guys Monday. Oh, I might be late Monday. I got something I got to do Monday, but if I'm late, I'll just be late. We all be late, okay? Don't try to come checking in at 3. Let me come in here so I can see who goes out and the 3. Okay, you guys? Get some things done today. I will see you guys Monday. Bye.